The worst period to time travel to.
Let's say for 1 second that a mad scientist has created a time machine and is forcing you to pick a random period to travel to during the Mesozoic. A lot of your possible options would definitely lead to an unfortunate ending. But whatever you do, you really should not pick 150 million years ago, as this was an age where instant death was around nearly every corner. Dinosaurs, per usual for the Mesozoic, ruled on land at the time.
Chat, now this right here is what you would call folklore. How niggas talk about dragons is the way I hear when people talk about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are not real. Let me prove to you this why. First off, right? All these bones and shit, all that fossil you niggas recovering. A nigga never recovered a fossil in front of me. All these goddamn dinosaurs they had on the planet, nigga, I used to dig back in the day. I've never seen a fossil. I've never seen bones. You know what I'm saying? All the dinosaurs they have across the world, nigga, billions and billions and billions of bitches, billions of dinosaurs. I tweaked out. Billions of dinosaurs, and what you're telling me is that I haven't found one of them motherfuckers in the ground. What that video with that little kid say, oh bullshit. Oh bullshit. Dinosaurs ain't real.
But even for dinosaur standards,
and I will prove it to you more in this video,
the ones that existed back then were especially terrifying, with certain paleontologists considering this time period to be a golden.
And hold up, I was on this podcast while I was at the gym, and it was basically saying, I think it was Bad Friends, and they were saying how, what was it? Safe Place. I don't remember, but they were saying how, one of those ologists, you know what I'm saying? You know, they got the cryingologist and the Scientologist and the geologist and all the gist. One of them motherfuckers that deal with dinos, abbreviation, they said the way we be describing them and putting them on screen is not real. They don't put in account for all the what is it? Or they only put in account for the cartilage and not the other shit and more mass and shit like that. They said, and would it really be like that? And that's word on the block. Gotta take her word for it. I'm not taking her for it. That's what the ologist said. Now, I don't believe this shit in the first place, but you know, if we're saying dinosaurs are real, we're saying dragons are real. And if we're saying dragons are real, that means magic is real. And if we're saying magic is real, nigga, that means superpowers are real. And why the fuck don't I have super speed? I do whatever to get tapped into the speed force.
An age for supersized sauropods and meat-loving theropods. Unfortunately, even if you could snap your fingers and make the dinosaurs go away, 150 million years ago would still be a lot of nope. With the land, oceans, and skies harboring a lot of secrets that were, let's just say, unfriendly to life. Welcome to the late Jurassic. During this time, not even a map would do you much good, as Earth's landmasses were fairly...
Chad, just look at the balance of a fucking bitch-ass dinosaur like that. I'm sorry, bro. I gotta let these niggas have it. I'm teed the fuck up right now, nigga. Tee up, nigga. Look.
That were...
Okay. How is this nigga balancing? If I try to do that right now, I'll fall on my ass. Are you saying this nigga has abs? That's the only way I'm seeing this guy balance like that. Look at his body position. Either that tail is heavy as a motherfucker, or this is fake. That tail gotta be like a ton. I mean, however, say the animal weigh 500. The tail gotta be at least 350 or 250 for me to believe that he's balancing like that. Nigga, do you know how much, nigga, core strength that would take? If this dinosaur flip over, nigga, I better see a 64 pack on his stomach. Point B. I already told y'all point A, point B. And we're going down the line here. We might get to Z.
Just say unfriendly to life. Welcome to the late Jurassic. During this time, not even a map would do you much good, as Earth's landmasses were fairly unrecognizable compared to current versions, with North America arguably being the most like its current self, having at least maintained a similar shape. Familiarity ends here though, as to the south lays a giant mass of merged continents that form together what some consider to have been the last supercontinent, Gondwana.
Yeah.
This ancient landmass was composed of South America, the Arabian Peninsula, India, Antarctica, and Australia, creating
Okay. Okay. I'm also calling fact on history. Because this is what I learned from history. History is all bullshit. Most of it. I wouldn't say it's bullshit, but it's definitely tweaked and edited. Right? As my favorite artist would say, one thing about men that's controlling the pen that write history, they always seem to write out their sins. And that's the word of Jermaine. I will let you study that whenever you want to. But if
the
we
Arabian
go back
Peninsula.
here, what you're telling me is that this state, and this state, and this state was one together. Now, that does make sense. But what I'm trying to say is, that's Louisiana, first off. I know Louisiana when I see it. You can't trick no nigga like me. That's Louisiana. And that goes right here. Right by Texas. So, what I'm trying to say is, how first off, nigga, if we take a look at this map right here, if this and this and this was connected to a super Continia, Pangea, all the pans, you know what I'm saying, even the pansexuals, if this was connected all into one, what you're telling me is that somehow this bitch broke apart like a cookie that fell on the floor, and you got pieces over here, you got pieces over there, and you got pieces down there. Where the fuck is this shit? Do you think this shit just slid out the way and then it slid back? I'm not having that, bro. And I don't believe in the Big Bang. I don't believe particles just collided. That's some Bruce Banner shit right there. Particles just collided and bam. You know what I'm saying? That's too unexplainable. Those are guesses to me. I don't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? The universe just said, you know what? Let me give you a sprinkle of You put a little flaky salt on that bitch, and then we got the Big Bang, and then we got the Earth, and then we got fucking, hold on, don't get it fucked up, I'm not done. And then they got fucking from plants and, fucking tiny particle fungi that evolved into this, and then it evolved to that, and then we got the first fucking creature, and then we got the fucking this and that, and this and that, bro. I didn't evolve from none of that bullshit, nigga. That's not natty. Nigga, I'm natty. You know what I'm saying? I came from one source, human. And I might not even be human.
India, Antarctica,
Stink.
and Australia, creating the largest continent of the late Jurassic.
I'm gonna lie. If this is real, do you know how fire that shit? Yo, we low-key need to go back. Right? Like, that would be hard, nigga. Imagine, like, the Indians that are in Arctics and imagine how powerful they'd be now together. I fuck with that shit. And South America. Nigga, Brazil and Africa would be right next to each other. That's hard, boy. That's hard. Then they got all the other pushes.
Which covered almost 1/6 of the Earth's entire surface, and from space would have looked like a mega blob of land. Surprisingly, not even Gondwana was the most foreign-looking continent at the time, with that title going to Laurasia, a giant continent within its own right that was made up of present-day Europe, Greenland, and parts of Asia. It, unlike the rest of the Earth, was absolutely covered by expansive waters that split and isolated much of the land, resulting in the countries we know of today being smaller and composed of numerous islands. Europe in particular was an island paradise that bore nearly no resemblance to the present. Its location was quite different too, being closer to North America than it is today. Meanwhile, China was right next to Iran and Turkey, yet extremely far away from India. Evidently, the geography was rather confusing, to say the least.
Facts.
Thankfully, however, late Jurassic oceanography wasn't, since only 2 major bodies of water existed.
And I haven't seen a bone of an animal like this. I haven't seen the bone of it. Like, you telling me, hold on, my nigga. How much of the ocean have we even explored? Because this one I'm finna debunk it. Point D. Nigga, we've discovered 5% of the ocean. And you telling me out of those 5% you seen the fucking Loch Ness Monster and his stepdaddy. Right? You think you can hit a nigga with a sham whammy? That's what this is. You can't hit me with no sham whammy. 5%. We can't even get that deep. Nigga, we'll start blowing up and shit. We don't have the tech, but we want to go to space and shit. And I will talk about that another day. But until then, right now, let's get on these dinosaurs. I feel like Rick Ross fat ass.
The Pacific Ocean and the Tethys Ocean. The Tethys was already an ancient ocean at the time, having existed for over 100 million years.
Damn.
It covered the eastern hemisphere and had recently experienced significant tectonic activity, which had raised it up, resulting in the higher sea levels that submerged large parts of Laurasia. Despite it getting this tectonic boost, it was still smaller than the younger, yet still 50 million year old, Pacific Ocean, which now dominated the entire western hemisphere and would continue to expand as time passed. The late Jurassic also saw the emergence of yet another body of water we all know of, the Atlantic Ocean. Although at the time it resembled a sea more than anything else, being nearly entirely surrounded by land. The Atlantic's temperatures were also unlike they are today, being remarkably warmer. And this was actually a trend seen worldwide.
Bitch, I'm low-key scared of the ocean. I can swim, but it gets to a point where swimming ain't gonna help you, my nigga. And when them tides start fucking pulling your ass and having their way with you and you getting dunked, and then next thing you know, you seeing fins, and then you seeing whales, and then you seeing dolphins, and swordfish, and tuna fish, and all the fish that want to eat a nigga. Piranhas, maybe. I don't think piranhas are in the ocean. But, whatever, you know. That's when it's like, alright, it's time to say GG's.
With seawater averaging 32.1 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit, making it 25% hotter than the current average. Even in the deepest parts of the Pacific, temperatures were still considerably warmer, hovering around 17 degrees Celsius or 63 degrees Fahrenheit, akin to tap water. This heightened temperature is often attributed to the increased tectonic activity of the time, which would have led to very active volcanoes, thus spewing massive amounts of CO2 into the water.
See, and another thing, point F. Wait, E. Why all the lit shit happen like nothing lit, nigga? We get normal shit. Nigga, we got fishes trying to come up on land and see what the action's about, and then they dying. That's about the littest shit that's happened. Fucking whales getting washed up on land. We having to use fucking equipment to get them back in. Every time they dead, they fucking blowing up. Like, where the volcanoes exploding at? Where's the tectonic plate shifts? We haven't seen none of that shit. We seen NBA finals. Where's the, like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Where's the new creatures at? Where's the new this? Why was all this teeming with new life lit and the fucking world was getting like, you know what I'm saying? Like still like fucking coming and shit. And now it's just like it's done coming. It's, you know, I hate to use that analogy, but I couldn't think of another one. And the world is just, it's chilling now. Why is it chilling all of a sudden? Why? That's too coincidental for me. No. You won't, no. I don't know.
Currently, paleontologists are actually aware of a few of these now extinct volcanoes, one of which is Earth's largest known volcano, Tamu Massif. This absolute unit is located 1,600 kilometers or 990 miles east of Japan and covers more seafloor than the state of California, while standing almost twice as tall as Mount St. Helens. During its active life, Tamu Massif would have made the oceans more acidic and heated up the atmosphere, leading to warmer conditions on land as well. In fact, 150 million years ago was most likely just about the warmest period in the entire Jurassic, with an average daily temperature of 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit, nearly 15% warmer than today.
That's not that odd.
With this heat, Earth was experiencing climatic conditions that it hadn't for nearly 50 million years, with both the northern and southern hemisphere witnessing significant amounts of dry biomes, including deserts and savannas, which could be quite harsh on animals, considering that most also had distinct dry seasons, where severe droughts were not unheard of. Towards the equator, things got a little less cutthroat, as drier ecosystems gave way to lush expansive tropical forests that covered the vast majority of North Africa. However, the most toned-down conditions were not found there either, rather near and within the polar regions, since back then they were not brutally cold tundras, but rather temperate biomes similar to modern-day Central Europe. The polar regions were so much warmer back then that they didn't even have ice sheets or glaciers, and as a result, life was absolutely plentiful. And even in the harsher arid climates closer to the equator, life still found a way, with the richest known formations actually hailing from these brutal areas. Dinosaurs in particular thrived, and were enjoying a level of diversification never yet seen. Of all the groups lumbering around, theropods, sauropods, neornithischians, and armored dinosaurs were the most established.
And who's making the names? Because I want to get in on this name-making business. I want to see their stock. Maybe it's a private traded company. I don't know. But who's making the names for these type of fucking animals? Mr. Dynamo... Damn!
Theropods, sauropods,
Aeropods, sauropods,
neornithischians, and armored dinosaurs were the most
basic ass name.
Established, with multiple species from each group often being found within a single ecosystem, resulting in a chaoticness rarely seen during the Mesozoic. This is perhaps best demonstrated by the Morrison Formation, which was an expansive North American biosphere that spanned across 13 states and was composed of arid savannas, forests, and shrubland. So far, over 40 dinosaurs are known to have resided there, including at least 10 different theropods, nearly all of which were big enough to hunt human-sized animals.
I kind of just feel like they wouldn't hunt humans. Because you got to think about it. Wasn't there cavemen back then? Exhibit E. F. Wasn't there cavemen back then? Where were the cavemen at? Were the cavemen? I just feel like, imagine if I just seen a bunch, and like, why were they just roaming everywhere? Where was North America at? Where's the, like, it seems like this shit is all happening in the Sahara and Africa and Egypt, all the fucking, and then the Amazon. Like, I don't think this shit is happening in California. I'm not seeing California dinos or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They probably have made their way over there. If they are, they probably chill. The way they're describing it, maybe it's the way my brain's placing it. Maybe I'm in the wrong. I don't think so, though.
Yet, unlike the Cretaceous, the Morrison's most dominant carnivores were not...
I wouldn't be in that forest shit. I'd be chilling on land, building houses. On my settler shit.
Tyrannosaurs, who had yet to evolve. Rather, Allosauridae. The most abundant of them all was the Allosaurus, typically dubbed the Lion of the Jurassic thanks to its striking appearance.
Allosaurus.
It was a nearly unstoppable predator who sported razor-sharp teeth and a blood-inducing slashing bite that allowed it to hunt a wide range of herbivores. Studies have suggested that it may have even hunted in packs as well. But whatever the case, it undeniably dominated the lands.
Favorite dinosaur, quote-unquote, is the saber-tooth tiger.
Accounting for 75% of all carnivore remains. With such number...
See, I would have been in that type of area, in the snow. I would have been a snow guy. You know what I'm saying? I like the saber-tooth tiger. That's my guy. I really only like it because of Ice Age. We're just going to be honest with you. But it turns out the fucking fangs weren't even... That's a V8 Mustang. But where are they making up these noises? Because now it's getting ridiculous. You're already making up the dinosaurs, my nigga. And now you're going to give niggas, oh, we going to use AI to determine what it sounds like. That's a Hemi. It turns out these teeth are actually kind of weak. I would want a saber-tooth tiger. A nigga like me, I would have tamed this bitch. And if he didn't want to get in line, then I would have cooked his ass. He either become a pet or he become a meal. It's no in between. That's the only option I'm giving this fucking animal. A pet or a pet or a meal. You know what I'm saying? Pick one. I would go with the first option. It's the safest. You know, you'll provide me with. I pet you sometimes and shit. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, or whatever fucking V8 Hemi noise that bitch is made. I really only like him because of this. But they was low key weenie. What the fuck?
you'd expect it to be a small yet plentiful creature.
Shut up, bitch. Let me look up some saber-tooth tigers. I gotta see this motherfucker. They got documentaries on these niggas. Wait, so the saber-tooth weren't in the snow? Oh my god. What a goddamn shame. And see, chat, the
one of
thing
nature's
is,
being larger.
this how I'm finna debunk them. Right here. Let me see all the descendants of these motherfuckers. Right? Saber-tooth tigers. I'm not looking at that smaller shit. No real descendants of a saber-tooth tiger cat are alive today. See? Why not? If we made it this far, you telling me a saber-tooth tiger, a beast, can't make it this far. I was saying it originated from this, though. I would have wanted. They need to bring the saber-tooth tiger back. They be trying to bring back like dodo birds. I don't give a fuck about no bird, nigga. I need to see a tiger. You know, the tigers already going to shit. Them damn Asians was I don't want to say the damn Asians, cause obviously I'm getting sleepy cause I'm getting racist. That's how you could tell. That's one of my factors. I don't want to say the damn Asians, but they just so happen to be in Asia and they were getting hunted by poachers. Poachers. And they thought that shit was gonna like feed them and bring them health and wealth. Like, shut that bullshit up, nigga. That shit ain't nothing but fingernails. It's just a bunch of fingernails stacked on top of each other.
As well as be involved. Excuse me, I'm giving a talk right now. Oh my god!
That's a trans saber-tooth tiger. Let me see that motherfucker, man. I'm not really worried about the woolly mammoth. I don't give a fuck about that. That's a toothed tiger. That's a hairy elephant. You know what I'm saying? I can make that shit in Photoshop.
Saber-toothed tigers worked well in teams and took down weaker or younger mammoths up to 1,500 kilograms. A solo tiger may not be as lucky, but looks can be deceiving. The saber-tooth's bite force of 3,447 kilopascals is
that PSI? I think my pressure washer can do that. Let me see. Saber-tooth tiger bite force. I'm dead ass. 333 PSI. Oh damn. 2,000. Y'all niggas only doing 200. I'll put that saber-tooth down. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't fuck with no tiger, nigga. If my pressure washer could do that shit, and I'm saying you cook, I'll put that bitch on 0.
But no, Allosaurus was a giant by current standards, with adults weighing an average of 1.7 tons and measuring 8.5 meters or
where they getting these dimensions from? Cause y'all only have bones, and bones weigh nothing. Bones weigh nothing.
28 feet in length. This comfortably made it one of the biggest predators around, but remarkably, even it wasn't the biggest terrestrial predator on Earth, with that title going to the Saurophaganax, which happened to live in North.
What you just say about them people?
Predator on Earth, with that title going to the Saurophaganax.
He does not represent my actions or anything I say. You know what I'm saying? He's his own man. And he said the word, I'll run it back too.
Biggest terrestrial predator on Earth, with that title going to the Saurophaganax, which happened to live in North America as well. This, like the Allosaurus, was a member of the Allosauridae family and could weigh up to 5 tons, equivalent to nearly 4 adult giraffes.
Giraffes is lit, chat. Like I one time a giraffe had like, I gave that nigga some like, I don't know, it's like a big ass green bean. Gave it to the nigga. He wrapped his hand. That nigga got a long ass tongue. Somehow that came out a little sexual. And we're just gonna skip past that.
In addition to classification, it was similar to the Allosaurus in many ways, both possessing robust arms, sharp claws, serrated teeth, and distinct crests, but yet differed in the shape of its vertebrae and obviously body size. Alongside these two, there were still more carnivores who called the Morrison Formation home,
Bring up
with the most
tigers,
well-known
nigga.
ones including the Ceratosaurus, Torvosaurus, and the mysterious Edmarca rex. Both of the latter
Why are all these fucking dinosaurs look like the same dinosaur with the camo on it? Look!
carnivores who called the Morrison Formation home, with the most well-known ones including the Ceratosaurus,
So those ain't the same with a different camo.
Torvosaurus, and the mysterious Edmarca rex.
Nigga, what the fuck? Well, you think I'm stupid? Now I believe if you believe in dinosaurs, you're stupid. Because if that is not the same animal that I just...
Including the Ceratosaurus, Torvosaurus, and the
If that animal is not the same
mysterious Edmarca rex.
as this, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell. See, I can tell the difference between tigers and lions. You know what I'm saying? Tiger, orange stripe. And see, you gonna try to bait me? Say he has the red camo. Hold on, I'm not done. Their faces look different. One cat is bigger than the other, and you could just tell. Okay, these are two different animals.
Ones including the Ceratosaurus, Torvosaurus,
Even if I seen an albino tiger and an albino lion, I would still be able to tell. But if I was in the wild, right, chilling with my saber tooth, tamed, and I seen the red motherfucker
and the mysterious Edmarca rex.
in the black and purple motherfucker, I'd be like, oh, these niggas on teams. They in the pack. Cause that's mama and daddy.
Both of the latter were megalosauridae, and were also again gigantic, being more comparable to the Saurophaganax than other carnivores, with large specimens of Torvosaurus weighing around 4 tons, while the Edmarca rex could have weighed just as much as the Saurophaganax. On the other hand, Ceratosaurus, while ferocious, was a large step down from the giant carnivores mentioned, with large adults being similar in weight to polar bears. So obviously,
Oh, I tame that nigga. And his head movement gonna be tried. I jump on top of that bitch. Bro, I know a dinosaur cannot bite me if I don't even think a dinosaur can scratch his back. Like, he dead ass have to, like, fucking go back on a tree on some shit. On some bear shit. So I just jump on the nigga back. Stab in the neck, stab in the neck, stab in the neck. He's out of there.
still not small by any means. Regardless, many still consider it to be the underdog of the Jurassic, overlooking its agility and deadly bite that made it a highly successful predator. And most also forget that giant size was the exception.
What the fuck is this shit? This is CGI. No. There's no way this is something. Like, what the fuck is that, nigga? You think it's just wartime? You think these niggas out here having war like this? See, and then they be trying to paint it as like it's Dinosaur World War 13 or some shit. Why every time I see these niggas, they in a full-on battle? This is your depiction of the dino? What if they were a docile animal? A calm, majestic bitch. Nothing like this beast you claim it to be. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Point G.
Not the rule, since most Morrison predators were medium-sized like the Ceratosaurus or even smaller. For example,
Okay, that dinosaur's missing chromosomes.
Morrison predators
They're lucky fucked up for even putting them on the podium.
that were medium-sized like
This is a chromosome-less dinosaur.
the Ceratosaurus
You seen it here first, folks.
or even smaller. For example, troodontids and early primitive relatives of tyrannosaurids made up the bulk of these smaller carnivores, who seldomly stood above a human's waist in stature. This may make you wonder how such small carnivores stood a chance in an ecosystem ruled by behemoths. And the answer is simple: niching. Instead of contesting and competing with each other, predators would just occupy different ecological niches, which is exemplified by Ceratosaurus and Allosaurus, with the former being found near bodies of water, whereas the Allosaurus preferred open terrestrial spaces. This helped keep the
Where's the one from Jurassic Park, Blue? Blue was fast. I think Blue was a raptor.
peace in a theropod-rich environment. But peace was not always possible, as North America and much of the Earth were subjected to severe droughts that drove nearly all to violence, with fossilized remains indicating extreme amounts of cannibalism, theropod-on-theropod violence and scavenging. It was during these moments that being smaller was an advantage, because it meant much less calories were needed to survive. And this of course applied to small herbivores as well, which were mainly made up of Neornithischians. More than 5 kinds are known from 150 million years ago, but a couple of the more common ones would have been the cougar-sized Dryosaurus and the larger Camptosaurus, that weighed about half a ton. Despite their size differences, both had similar diets composed of ground-level plants, and the two also tragically shared a lack of defenses, with speed being their only real Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C, for that matter. This problem, however, was not at all common for other herbivores, as many became ruthless themselves in order to ward off theropods, like the iconic Stegosaurus, who happened to also be the largest non-sauropod you could find, with exceptional adults reaching 9 meters or 30 feet in length and weighing 5.5 tons.
This is a good plan, chat. How these niggas tricked y'all niggas into believing all this bullshit and they mapped it out, y'all niggas got hit with a sham whammy. Y'all been fucked. I'm sorry. They got y'all niggas. They controlling y'all niggas. And that's why y'all stuck in a rat race. Because they got y'all believing this, then this ties in with this, and then this ties in with this, and then this ties in with this. But what if I don't believe none of that shit? See, them niggas gonna call me crazy. But I'm not crazy because this ain't enough proof for me. I need to see dinosaurs. Let me see what Reddit has to say. Why is it? Hold on. I don't know what's finna pop up here. Not gonna lie. Oh, the Dinosaurs game. Dinosaurs don't exist. Reddit. I have a friend who doesn't believe in dinosaurs. That man sounds like a genius. As the title says, I have a friend who doesn't believe dinosaurs exist. They believe that fossils were all man-made. Dinosaur fossils. I've heard to go to a natural history museum. See, that nigga's a bot. He's gonna take you to a fucking history museum. Half of the shits in there are lies, nigga. History is bullshit, bro. Niggas be right now. My friend is not religious. I am religious. Go figure. You sound like a bitch. I mean, why would they fake it? He's a bot. I can't. The first comment is gonna be on some bot shit. I need niggas with strong points. There's evidence. Dinosaurs exist. How I've never seen one. The arm in my friend is not proof that the person had uncle. God just put it there to confuse us. What is your evidence of this God? Or is it just what you were told? Fuck him up, Captain Naps. Man, hold on. This nigga funny. This fucking ass. I'm gonna start using that. Fuck him up. That shit turned me on. I had a friend who said blah 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 that Christianity was. Yo, I'm gonna be honest. The only reason why they made this religion shit, I keep it stack. It's because niggas was doing weird shit. Let's just keep it stacked, bro. If we talk about the real history, right? If we take it back, it was like, bro. Even my dad was telling me this. Like, even when he was growing up, they would send like little girls out to marry like 40-year-old men and shit like that, right? But if we take it all the way back to religion days, the only reason why they got this shit is because niggas was doing weird shit, bro. They're like niggas and niggas fucking, right? Like it's normal. Then they had the fucking kids and grown men fucking like it was normal, and this fucking this and this fucking that, and everything was just like, it was no structure, no order, my nigga. So then they had to create this shit, and yeah, boom. Actually, Catholicism originally was a pay for the priest. Yo, we might have to dive into this on. Oh, it is Conspiracy Sunday. Okay. Let's Okay, so today, show me a skeleton. Animals are not being real. Yes, dinosaurs are real. I'm pretty sure he's just trolling you. I'm losing more brain cells. I'm not reading all that shit at this time of night, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Unless I gotta... Nah.
Not to mention, it also had a thagomizer, which while may sound funny, would have felt terrible for potential predators, as this was the large bony spikes attached to the end of its tail, turning it into a potent weapon individuals could use to pierce the bone of attacking carnivores,
That looks like a
as
slave
evidenced
mechanism,
in fossils
goddammit!
by one unlucky Allosaurus. And Stegosaurus wasn't the only herbivore with a good theropod turned in these lands.
These fucking stupid ass animals walking around on 2 legs. What if you take out one of their legs? What are they gonna do? They're dead ass gonna lay there and die. I wish I would catch these niggas hopping. I'd kick them over. Right? If I was in this time period and I was getting hunted by dinosaurs, I just invent a trap that like cuts off one of their fucking ankles or some shit, and they're cooked. And I'm killing this motherfucking ass. I'm getting behind them, slicing his motherfucking neck. You know, I'm having my way with him. He's mine.
As fresh on the scene was Murapelta, one of the oldest known ankylosaurs. It was considerably smaller than its later relatives, with adults only weighing 562 kilograms or 1,239 pounds. Yet, it did have the trademarked heavy armor that made ankylosaurs famous, with osteoderms spreading across the entirety of its upper body. These osteoderms varied in size and sometimes had sharpened edges, particularly when located near vulnerable spots. Sadly though, armor was no thagomizer, and numerous remains of this ankylosaur were found with signs of predation by theropods. Such a fate presumably extended to other existing armored dinosaurs as well, which included another ankylosaur, the Gargoylosaurus, and the stegosaurid Alcovosaurus. At this point, you may be tired of hearing about so many dinosaurs, but to really drive home the fact that this was one of their golden ages, you cannot forget about the most abundant dinosaurs of them all.
That's my guy.
Sauropods.
That's my guy.
In fact,
It's like the giraffe.
150 million years ago may have been the apex period for this group, as they were typically the most common dinosaurs about, with Camarasaurus holding the title of the most abundant animal in the Western Hemisphere. But it was by no means alone, and a mix of different
Why am I not seeing Dino Dick? Exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Exhibit H! What's a dino penis? The Dinogina. I'm not seeing none of that.
sauropod families ran rampant, with the two key players
Like, I
being
need to see shit like these type of animals. This shit probably hanging to the goddamn. You feel me? Me personally, for protection, I would keep it up by my neck. I would keep it hard, and I keep it up by my neck. Keep it up by this area right here, to keep it hidden, keep it away, so nobody finds it. That's good right there. If not, you let your shit hang, bro. Your shit probably gonna be in the way you walking though. I mean, now you do got 4 legs. 5.
the Diplodocids
That nigga got 5.
and the Macronarians. Both of these families are powerhouses with multiple iconic members,
See, eating fucking rocks off the ground.
some of them including household names like Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, Supersaurus, Barosaurus, Brontosaurus, Apatosaurus,
And the Loch Ness
and the
fucking
honorable mention
monster.
Marapunosaurus, which belonged to neither family but was absolutely massive. And in reality, every sauropod alive then, including those unmentioned, were pretty massive, with the smallest weighing 13 tons while the largest sat around 70 tons. Naturally, with such crazy fauna, many have been amazed by the Morrison since its discovery. And yet incredibly, the Morrison wasn't exactly special, as much of the world had similar ecosystems where the same groups of dinosaurs dominated. And in some places, even the exact same dinosaurs could be found. For instance, if you try to escape the Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, or Torvosaurus by fleeing to Europe, you'd still run into them. While on the flip side, you could also experience some absolutely great sauropod sightseeing in Gondwana, where
They would have been obsolete by now anyway.
evidence of Brachiosaurus, Barosaurus, and Camarasaurus were found. And even dinosaurs unique to other landmasses still tended to follow the same trends seen in the Morrison, with many having counterparts across the globe.
Yo, chat, is there any bulletproof animals? Why aren't these animals adapting? They did all this fucking adapting from fucking water to land to back to the fucking from to growing tails to dropping tails to getting 17 legs. Why aren't there bulletproof animals by now? We've had guns for a very long time. They started off as little pebbles. Now we got 7.62s.
For example, Tanzania had the Titanic Giraffatitan, which played a similar ecological role as Brachiosaurus. Additionally, Tanzania also saw the legs of Kentrosaurus, the stegosaurian counterpart and close relative of Stegosaurus. In Europe, the exact situation is again seen, with sauropods like the Oceanotitan and stegosaurs like the Centrurus.
Yo, honestly, none of these animals should be able to cross the water if dinosaurs are real. Nobody should be able to cross the water. Loch Ness Monster. Mystery. If the Loch Ness Monster is a myth, dinosaurs are a myth. To me, the Loch Ness Monster was just a dinosaur, my nigga. All them big ass dinosaurs, and you telling me a Loch Ness Monster couldn't appear not one time? They basically just told y'all it's a myth. Let's just go biggest dino. I call them dinos now. Dinosaurs in the sea. Let's see. Was the Ceratosaurus, was the Chararata, whatever, that bitch, is the largest marine creature ever discovered. I can actually read. Hold on. Y'all niggas got me fucked up. The Shastasaurus. The Shastasaurus. Bam! Be fucking you up. It's the largest marine, blah, 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 discovered 65 feet long, dating back, you know what I'm saying? I just queefed. 75 tons. Was that really that big? Was it a monster? Was it a beast like that motherfucker off, you know, whatever that fucking Jurassic Park?
Peppering the land. Where Gondwana and Europe differed, however, was that they had a new kind of theropod family not yet seen in North America, or anywhere else for that matter. And that is the Carcharodontosauridae, which were partially characterized by...
Dude, where are you getting these names from? Is this name generator? Who's letting these niggas pick these big ass names? See, and this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I... Point I. Nigga. These names are stupid. Why would you pick this difficult ass name just so you can tell people, oh, that's not how you pronounce it. That's what you want to do? This is a bait to me. I think that's it. They're making these difficult ass names just so when people try to read it, you go, actually, it's not how you pronounce it. That's not how you pronounce it. That's not how you pronounce it. That's not how you pronounce it. It's actually, right? Whatever the name was. Stupid shit. You're baiting. And I do not like that. I rest my case. My case isn't over. This guy can continue to tell you all these fucking difficult ass names that these people made up just so they can tell you that's not how you pronounce it to make them sound smart. I think they get off to that shit. They probably go to the bake room. Oh my god, he can pronounce that name. Yeah, what was it? Jacalosaurus. Ah! And then they just like, they probably don't beat the dicks. They probably not that weird either. But I definitely believe they're trying to make you look like a fool. And if I can create the next dinosaur name, just call it Saurus. You know what I'm saying? Big Saurus or three-leg Saurus or Trisaurus. Triceratops. Nah, that's already a dinosaur. But let's go Beast.
High neural spines, proportionally long arms, and long narrow skulls. The oldest and first of them to evolve was the Veterupristosaurus, which resided in Tanzania and weighed up to
Yo, if that little armed fucker tried to hit me, bro, I'm weaving that shit so fast. Slip. I would have rolled it too, like Floyd. His claws would have bounced right off here, and I would have came up with a knife, cut his whole fucking mix, it fucked up his day, cut his whole mix session out. And if he didn't die right there, his mouth would have been split open for the rest of his life. He would have been the worst. He would have starved to death. He would have been the worst predator of all time.
1.65 tons, and likely hunted a mix of stegosaurs and juvenile sauropods. Strangely, in China, which wasn't far away from Europe, Carcharodontosauridae weren't found, although they had their very own unique apex predator, the Yangchuanosaurus.
Yo!
Following the trend, this
chat, where's my 1 AM team? Oh my god, what the fuck? I was getting cooked. No wonder I didn't see my shit.
This was a monstrous theropod that was nearly as long as the largest Torvosaurus and weighed up to 3.4 tons, making it the largest predator in all of Asia. From a distance, you may mistake it for a unit of an Allosaurus, since the two were closely related and shared many similar features, but they were not cut from the same cloth, as Yangchuanosaurus was not an Allosauridae member, rather a Metriacanthosaurid, which in Greek means moderately spined lizards. So it's not surprising that this group's defining trait was, well, moderately sized spines.
So these are all lizards. No way dinosaurs don't exist. I just do not believe that these are fucking lizards that we keep in cages now. Right now, the Komodo dragon is very close to a dinosaur. I will say that. If I ever see a Komodo dragon, I will let you know that bitch will be shot down immediately. I'm not taking no chances with that venom. I know a lot about Komodo dragons. If I even think it's a Komodo dragon, it's getting shot. You know? And hopefully he evolved titanium bulletproof skin, because these bitches are hollow points. Okay?
Beyond the uniqueness of Yangchuanosaurus, Asia was again much like the rest of the world, with the four main groups reigning supreme and bearing multiple species. Some of the most well-known that lived at the time included Mamenchisaurus, Yingxianosaurus, Dinosaurs, and Leishanosaurus. And it wasn't just the dinosaurs that would have made your eyes wide.
Now, Chad, you may be thinking I may be pussy. Now, I want to let you know something. If I had a machete and it was me and Komodo dragon in an open field, I would come out alive. I'll tell you why. I know how a Komodo dragon runs. It gets on his legs and it goes. So what do you think I'm going to do? I'm running with the blade. 15-inch blade tucked like this. Actually, I'm going to have it this way. First thing I'm going to do when I get close to that motherfucker, I'm going to jump. Oh! Then I wanted to have his mouth open. And I'm going to bait it. He's going to try to, you know, they go like, they bite this way. They bite this way. And that's bad because you're leaping at your opponent with all your body. It's going to take you a while to recover from what I'm about to do to you, fuck nigga. You know what I'm saying? He bites. I slip. How do I have the knife? How do I have the knife? I have the knife like this. I stab it in his fucking head, and then I run, and I'll go backwards with it. Now, he's fucked up, right? Now, these are tough animals, so that might not kill it, because I just gotta, the first shot was good. The second shots, I might have had to pull the knife out, whatever. Now, he's a little fucked up. He's a little Dave. I just stabbed him in his head. What's he gonna try to do? Now, we're in the standoff here. Just me and the Komodo. I'm on phase. He's officially been hit with the knife. As you can tell, it's getting late because I'm starting to talk about bullshit. So look, I got the knife. I see the Komodo dragon. I'm charging the Komodo dragon. Knife like this though. So look, Komodo dragon come. I'm waiting for the Komodo dragon to bite, because if he decides to bite me, now I'm gonna have to keep stabbing it. But the venom might kill me, so that's why I don't want to get bit. The thing is to avoid the bite. I bait him with the bite. Maybe I find a branch or something. Open field, no branches. If it's any environmental weapons, he's cooked. So I'm just letting you know, like branches of trees, he's cooked. But it's an open field, like I said. I'm waiting for the bite. I'm baiting the bite. You know what I'm saying? He reaches. Hey, I put his head down. Stab, 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 stab at the top. By that time, he should be out of there.
Widen. As the late Jurassic accommodated a
I don't know
wide
why I'm
range
talking about killing Komodo dragons, but like, you know, I like Komodo dragons. But if I ever have to fight one, it's killed or be killed.
of non-dinosaurs too, with the most dominant being crocodiliforms. Like dinosaurs, they came in a variety of sizes and inhabited a diverse range of habitats, but were usually on the small.
I forgot about crocodiles. I should have goddamn gator if I need. I eat gator. I was like gator not too long ago, fried up and everything. Had the dip sauce with it. You know what I'm saying? That animal has officially become obsolete. Humans are now the apex predator on this land. Let's go.
Smaller side comparatively. Most, like the gator-sized Amphicaudalis, were semi-aquatic, hunting down fish, amphibians, and turtles that dwelled near them. But a few were actually fully terrestrial and could appear fairly nightmarish, as seen with Halopus, who had slender, skinny limbs.
What the fuck is that? Can we just talk about it for a cool second? What the fuck is that? That's a human in a suit. Look at the arms.
Giving it an odd, unsettling appearance. Although, you wouldn't have to worry, because Halopus was a tiny creature that rarely grew taller than a boot, and mostly stuck to insects and other.
I would've Boy, I seen something like that, I would've stepped on that bitch.
Their small prey. The other terrestrial crocs were quite small too, likely a result of living in the shadow of dinosaurs. And another group that ran into this size problem as well was our very own ancestors, the mammaliaforms. By now they'd been around for over 100 million years, and were well adapted for a mix of lifestyles, with older fossils showing that some had developed the ability to glide, climb trees, and be semi-aquatic. Their diets were also quite versatile with.
See, you're growing all these adaptabilities, but they've never adapted to the gun. And I don't understand. Maybe it takes 100 years. I don't know.
Some specializing in plants, while others nibbled on meat or dabbled in both areas, as seen with the omnivorous Guimarododon, who may even have scavenged on dinosaurs. Yet, it was still like other mammaliaforms.
It's nothing worse than one of those animals that like steals eggs and babies and shit.
Which is to say, small, as on average these guys were no bigger than a shrew, making them hard to notice among so many titans. Nonetheless, there was a group that wasn't exactly giant but were hard to miss, and these were the pterosaurs. The pterosaurs had established control of the skies roughly 80 million years prior to this point and flew mostly unchallenged. Interestingly though, they weren't very populous as only a few remains from the time are known, yet their bones were geologically widespread, indicating a successful conquest across a significant portion of Earth. Typically, late Jurassic pterosaurs seem to have preferred marine and shoreline habitats where they could fill their stomachs with fish, insects, shellfish, and carrion. It's also been hypothesized that the largest pterosaurs could have actively hunted certain terrestrial creatures, with the biggest pterosaur being Lucignathus. This pterosaur lived in Europe and was a leviathan compared to coexisting relatives, with an estimated wingspan of 3.6 meters or 12 feet, which along with sharp straight teeth could have enabled it to hunt other pterosaurs, considering that.
How much if you think that can get to me, I'd snap his fucking neck in half before he even has a chance to try to bite down on me. You know what I'm saying? First thing I would do, a bird like that, its neck isn't gonna be strong. It's nothing crazy. Its jaws are powerful, not its neck. So I will be getting behind the animal, and I will be snapping his fucking neck off his fucking body, nigga. And I don't want to kill none of these animals, but if it was life or death, I would do that. Survival of the fittest.
That most were less than half its size.
And
as king of flyers, the Lucignathus didn't have much to worry about.
Super adaptation.
Although it wasn't alone, as along with pterosaurs, bird-like dinosaurs had managed to take flight as well. In that day and age, they were still a novelty and very rare, with only one kind being known from that specific era, the Archaeopteryx. This dinosaur is extremely monumental to paleontology, as it is the earliest known capable of powered flight. There are other contenders for this title too, who date back to 165 million years ago, but thus far, many paleontologists argue on the classification of these older animals. The Archaeopteryx would have used its flying abilities to hunt small prey, including reptiles and insects, and escape predators, as it was a tiny fellow who was similar in size to a modern-day magpie. With so much life around you and above you, you probably won't be surprised to know that the waters were home to many as well, with the major difference being that while a lot of creatures on land were wondrous, the oceans and seas were namely home to pure nightmares. notably the plesiosaurs. These were marine reptiles that were distinguished by flat
Dog. This is the fucking Loch Ness monster.
bodies, short tails, 4 flippers, and had a cosmopolitan distribution, meaning they could be found worldwide. They greatly varied in size, and many were apex predators, with the most terrifying of the bunch being the pliosaur family. While we commonly imagine plesiosaurs with long narrow necks, pliosaurs were the ones that had short necks and massive skulls, filled with sharp, conical teeth which allowed them to hunt down medium and large-sized prey.
Damn, what the fuck are those? Nigga, diamond-encrusted tooth?
You've probably heard of the most famous one, the Liopleurodon, but it had actually been dead for 5 million years at the time. Not to worry though, as the late Jurassic found an even bigger, more terrifying replacement, the Pliosaurus. Adults of this pliosaur were among the largest ever recorded, reaching up to 10 meters or 33 feet in length and weighed 5 tons. With their size, they easily killed whatever they could catch,
Now we got
including
these
what we
pussy-ass whales and shit. Nigga, I want these motherfuckers. If they were real.
consider the jaws of the modern oceans, sharks. And now, this isn't to say that sharks were chumps back then. Yet, they were no pliosaur and didn't come close in size. But they still would have been a problem for more toned down animals, including fish, and another famous staple of Mesozoic oceans, the ichthyosaurs. While ichthyosaurs had been the true giants for millions of years during the Triassic and early Jurassic, they had experienced a size decline in these days, mainly due to competition with the plesiosaurs. However, this battle definitely wasn't one-sided, as shallow seas and open oceans still had plenty of different ichthyosaur species that filled different niches and could be up to 7 meters or 23 feet long. Which is crazy to think about when considering that Triassic ichthyosaurs were sometimes almost 4 times bigger, making them absolutely horrifying to say the least. Don't panic though, as this time period had one more trick up its sleeve to give you nightmares, and that is the Thalattosuchians, commonly nicknamed the marine crocodiles.
That's
In
a
reality,
croc.
they weren't really true crocodiles,
I know a
rather
croc when I
primitive
see
distant
one, but-
relatives. Though they did superficially resemble modern crocs, with the biggest difference coming from their limbs and tails, which in certain members had evolved into flippers to provide locomotion. Like many other animals, these marine crocs were found globally and in some locations were apex predators. They had compressed and serrated teeth that allowed them to shear chunks of flesh off prey, which consisted of fish,
fuck?
ichthyosaurs, small plesiosaurs, and turtles. The 2 largest living members, Dacosaurus and Machimosaurus, may have hunted large animals too. And coincidentally, Machimosaurus was actually the largest marine croc we know of, with adults being equal to the largest ichthyosaurs in length, and giving potential time travelers just one more reason to avoid Earth 150 million years ago.
Well, if we take a look at point K, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these are like maybes and bullshits. And I just don't believe them. Sorry. These are fake. They're not real. And yeah. You know, it is what it is.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.